Good morning everyone. Welcome back to Grade 3 Mathematics class. How are you all doing today? So let's talk about shapes. So I hope all of you had breakfast today. And what is the shape of that plate that you had breakfast today? Is it a circular plate or is it a rectangular plate? And what is the shape of that glass that you had drank water from? See, if you look around, you can see all the shapes that you have learned around you. You come across these shapes a lot in your daily life. So children, today we are going to start a new chapter on such shapes. We are starting chapter 7, shapes. So when you describe a shape, we describe it in terms of its measurements, such as length, breadth or width. So such a measurement along a direction. The measurement of length along a direction is called the dimension of a shape. So what is the dimension? A measurement of length in one direction is called dimension of a shape. So objects or space can be one-dimensional, two-dimensional or three-dimensional. See this line here. How do we describe this line? We can say that this line has this much length or this line is this much long. We describe the line in terms of its length, a measurement. So the length of the line is enough to describe it. Just one dimension is enough. So we can say a line is a one-dimensional shape or figure. And we can express this one-dimensional figure on a flat surface. You see this rectangle here? How do we describe a rectangle? We say it has a length, the longer side, and a breadth or width, the shorter side. So we usually describe a rectangle in terms of two measurements or two dimensions. So we say a rectangle is a two-dimensional or 2D shape or figure. Now, look at this cube here. All of you might have seen this. This is a Rubik cube. And it has a length, a breadth or width, and a height or thickness or depth. And it occupies some space and you can hold it. So such shapes, which we can describe using three dimensions, are called three-dimensional or 3D shapes or objects. Let's do one activity. All of you please take your maths textbook and turn to page number 95. You can see the Let's Recall page. A couple of questions are given there. The first one, the question reads, count and write the number of lines mentioned below each picture. You can see a set of lines in each case. The first case, it is being asked, you have to count the number of vertical lines in this picture. And what are vertical lines? Vertical lines are those straight lines that goes up and down. So how many lines are here which are vertical lines? There are 1, 2. Two vertical lines are there in this case. Now in the second case is of horizontal lines. What are horizontal lines? The straight lines that go left or right are horizontal lines. And how many horizontal lines do you see here? 1, 2, 3. So here it is 3 lines. Now the third one, slanting lines. What do you mean by slanting lines? The lines that look like a slope. See, these lines that look like a slope are called slanting lines. And how many do you see here? 1, 2, 3. Clear? So let's write 3 here. Now the next question. Question number 2. Tick against the correct picture representing the shape mentioned below. So question A. There is the name of a shape mentioned here and it says cube. You have to identify which is the cube here. Is it the first one or the second one? It is the second one. This is the cube. Now, the second question, the shape mentioned here is sphere. Which is the sphere here? Is it the globe or the bag? The sphere is the globe. So let's tick that one. Now the third question, the shape mentioned here is cuboid. And which is the cuboid? The first one or the second one? The second one is the cuboid. So let's tick that one. Now the last one. The shape here is cone. Is the ball the cone or is the tent the cone? The tent is the one which has the shape cone. So let's tick that one. Hope you are clear with these concepts. Now let's learn about solid shapes. See, objects which have length, breadth and height. We say objects which can be described using 3 dimensions such as length, breadth and height are 3-dimensional objects or 3D objects, and they are also called solid shapes because they occupy some space. You can see a few examples of solid shapes in your daily life here. See, the first one, cone ice cream. That cone, that is a 3D shape, and the can which resembles a cylinder. Here you can see a box of tissues which represents a cuboid. You can look around and find more 3D shapes in your home itself. So when we learn about shapes, it's very important to identify what is a face, a vertex and edge. So what do you mean by a face? See, a face is an individual surface of a solid object. What you see around the object is called its face. And what do you mean by an edge? See, where faces meet, there will be lines. Look at this picture here. You have a cube here. You can see the face of the cube around the cube, and where 2 faces meet, you can see lines, straight lines. And these straight lines are called edges. And where 2 or more edges meet, you can see sharp points or corner points. And these points are called vertices. When there is one point, it's called vertex. And when you talk about more, it is vertices. So the plural of vertex is vertices. So a vertex is a point where 2 edges meet. Now let's see what are flat and curved surfaces. So like we said, what you see around the object is its face. And this face, this surface can be flat or curved. Like when you see a paper, its surface is flat. But what about a ball? The surface of the ball is curved. So a sphere has a curved surface, whereas a rectangle or a paper has a flat surface. So the outer part of solid object is called its surface, and the surface may be flat or curved. Now let's learn about a few 3D shapes in detail. The first one, cuboid. Now all of you please turn to page number 96 in your textbook, and you see this heading cuboid. So what is a cuboid? This is the shape of a cuboid, and it is a solid rectangular shape that has 6 faces, 12 edges and 8 vertices. You see the 6 faces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the 6 faces, and where the faces meet, you have edges. See, one edge here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 edges for the cuboid. Now what about vertices? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The corner points where the edges meet are called vertices, and the cuboid has got 8 vertices. Now you can see a couple of cuboid shaped objects in your textbook. Look into your textbook, you can see a brick. A brick has the shape cuboid, and there is a matchbox which is also a cuboid. Now the second one, cube. A cube is a square shaped solid object. It's similar to a cuboid, but a cube is a solid shaped 3D object. In a cuboid, it has got rectangular faces, but in a cube, all the faces are squares. All the faces are of the same size and shape. And similar to the cuboid, it has got 6 faces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it has got 12 edges and 8 vertices. You can see cube-shaped objects as examples in your textbook. You can see the Rubik's Cube there and also the die that you use when you play snake and ladder. Now, the next shape is cylinder, and this is the shape of a cylinder. You see a curved surface, and at the top and the bottom there are flat surfaces. Hence, a cylinder has got three surfaces or three faces, two flat faces and one curved faces. And you can see the curved face meet the flat faces. And it has got no vertex or corner point. And you can see cylinder shaped objects in your textbook as examples in page number 97. You can see an oil drum there and also a playing drum. Now the next one, a sphere. A sphere is a solid round object which has only a curved surface or curved face. It does not have any edge or vertex. And you can see examples of sphere in your textbook. You can see a globe and a football. Next is a cone. You can see a cone here. A cone is a solid object that has a circular base and it has a curved surface or curved face. So you can say it has two faces, one curved and one flat circular base at the bottom, and it rises to a point. So it has got one vertex at the top. So I hope you are clear with the concepts of all these shapes. As homework, you can go through all these topics from page number 95 to 98 of your textbook. Then you have to do the exercise 7.1. The first question is about identifying the shapes. You can write the name of the shapes here. And the second question is about counting the number of edges, vertices and faces of each of the figures given there and writing it there. Now the third question is about some fill in the blanks. You have to observe the given shapes there carefully and then you have to fill up the blanks there according to each shape. So that's all for today, children. We'll meet in the next class with a new topic. Until then, bye.